Welcome to a new Darbus Rambles, and in the background we have some Star Wars Battlefront reboot with Walker Assault against AI. So I've wanted to make this Darbus Rambles because there's been a few things that I've been thinking about and not really sure the best way to really talk about it. So you know what, I'm just gonna throw things down, see how this video comes out, and maybe it'll turn out into something, I guess. So a while ago I made a video where I said this, and I've started to get to the point where I want to make very specific videos. I have a bunch of ideas of things I want to do at the moment, but starting now, the channel isn't going to be specifically for the traditional. Now, since I've said that, ever since then, I've had this problem where I can't think of something that I really want to record. I've had this problem before, but there's always been something that I could fall back onto. If I wanted to record something, then I could record that instead if I didn't find anything I wanted to record, which is partially why there was these series that just fell off into obscurity or something. Because I was making videos and then I started making series to like deviate from making a different game video every video, a different game every video. There we go. So that was the reason the series videos kind of existed, because of that and the playing a bit of things. I don't know. This channel's it's really confusing. Now, like I said, since then I've had problems like figuring out what I want to record, which for a weekly uploading channel that makes content every single week, like a day every week, that's kind of not a good sign, especially when channels can upload videos every single day, every single week. And I can barely manage to do one a week, which is kind of disheartening, and it's not very good if you compare my channel to other channels. There's an analogy for this that I came up with, and you basically, if you're hungry and you want to go to the shop, then you go to the shop and you buy some food. But then you have the days where you go to the shop and you want to buy some food, and you look at all the food that's there and none of it's appetizing to you, and you don't want any of it. So you just wander around the shop looking at all this food, and you don't really know what to buy because nothing's really appetizing to you, or you don't think it's going to be very good to eat or something. I don't know. This was an analogy that came into my head, and it's just going somewhere, I guess. So now every time I said something about food or going to a shop, replace that with making a video or picking a game to record, and that's basically what's going on now, pretty much. Kind of, are you following? I hope. I don't know where this is going, but I don't know. I would like to have more time to record, but I can't. Another thing I'd like to talk about in this Darbus discussion thing, Darbus Rambles, there we go. I even forgot what the name of the freaking segment's called. Fricks. So I'd like to talk about the state of YouTube in a whole, from my perspective. As someone, I've said this quite a few times, but I've been on YouTube for over 6 years-ish. My channel's about 5 years old. So I've seen a lot of things happen on YouTube. I've seen reply girls, I remember like the very start of PewDiePie before he even reached 1 million subscribers. But I remember those. Who remembers the Shadow of Israfel thing from the Yogscast? That kind of died off, didn't it? I've seen YouTube kind of mature and regress in a sort of way, where YouTube sort of found its place in what kind of media it wants to make, but also the content creators kind of pull it back, which is not very fun for the content creators that really want to make something. This can kind of range from people just making very clickbaity thumbnails, very basic stuff like clickbait titles and things, not selling the video for what it really is, that in that sort of clickbait sense. And then there's the other end of the spectrum where people are just at each other's throats constantly. Like now we have the iDubbbz and the Leafy thing that's going on, and I saw a video from H3 last night, and he was like, people just want me to make these very specific videos where I'm making fun of people and things and reacting to specific videos, which he doesn't want to do because he said he doesn't like it. It's not fun for him. All these channels that I don't know, these viewers and these content creators are kind of changing the direction of YouTube. To kind of ride off of what H3 said in that video, it's all fine doing it to begin with because you get this audience coming in and you get more revenue and things, but then you start to realize that there's actually people on the other end of these videos that you're making fun of, and it's not fun anymore. And it's at that point you kind of have to question whether it's the viewers that are the bad ones or the content creators that are the bad ones, because the content creators are the ones making the videos, but the viewers encourage encourage making the videos, if that makes sense. So for Ethan to jump ship then, and then start making videos that don't include these specific things, it's kind of a good idea to do. And I'm not really complaining about people wanting to see more effort in things put into a video, because of course I think that's how YouTube should really be to begin with, where people put as much effort into a video as they can, not sit on the sofa for about 5 or so hours like DSP every day, and just stream and talk to himself, and then just like splice it up and then upload it as videos. That's kind of lazy. There should be more channels like Germa985 or the main Vine Source channels, not the full stream ones, but the other ones where they like edit things and throw things up and things, and it's pretty cool on that channel. You should have looks at them. And as well as that, there's the game chasers and the animation stuff from Oni and Psychic Pebbles, and there's this really cool little channel that I found recently called Arlo. This is puppet dude and it's fucking awesome. You should check it out. But in terms of people complaining about wanting to see more effort put into making videos, I can completely understand that, because that's how YouTube should really be to anyway, just putting effort into a thing and then making people happy by uploading it and things. I don't know where this video is going. I should make videos properly, but I don't know. This is a ramble, so it's not scripted and I just talk into a mic for like however long. But if you kind of understand where I'm going with this, then I guess we kind of had the same mindset, I guess. But I'm finding it hard to want to be part of a community where they really want to have just people picking at each other and creating artificial drama. And one other thing that I want to bring up is the Casey thing the other day, whenever that was, I think it was like last week or something, where it was like, oh, if you're not voting for Hillary, then you got no backbone or something. It's like a great way to divide the community even more. Thanks for that. I can understand where he was coming from, like his intentions, but the way he tried to incorporate it and his execution of like getting people to talk about it, complete wrong way of doing it. And he should have sat down and thought how he should have done this without dividing the community even more. Because then if people are either voting for Trump or voting someone else, then that's just gonna divide them even more, and then people are gonna hate the people that are voting for specific people because they didn't agree with what Casey said. And this division in this community is ridiculous. I've said this before, but in ye olde days of YouTube, if you had a problem with someone, you didn't talk to them and you didn't bring them up at all. You kind of just left them and you didn't interact with each other, and that was kind of how YouTube was then. But now everyone's kind of just creating this artificial drama, and I don't think it's necessary, personally. You can have a different opinion, but personally I don't think this is necessary. Why can't we just do what we used to do and ignore each other and just make content? And this is the kind of fun thing about being a small channel, because I can say whatever I want and kind of not have any repercussions for what I say. Because of the fact that I'm such a small channel, no one really cares about what I say, so I can shoot shit all day. No one can really care about anything that I've brought up in this ramble or anything. And I feel like it's kind of necessary to talk about very specific people, especially when you're trying to talk about this kind of subject, because it's either that you vaguely talk about them and people instantly know who you're talking about and they're like, oh, why don't you just talk about this person and like say their name or something. You say their name and be like, hey, why did you name drop this guy? I was like, oh, for God's sake. In my opinion, in this kind of context, it's kind of necessary to talk about very specific people and name drop. I'm not saying that if you don't name drop, then you're kind of a puss, because you gotta have some respect sometimes for specific things. But I think that in like this, like I said, this sort of thing, then it kind of makes sense to just name drop people. I'm sorry, but in my opinion, yeah. I know I can just stop watching these things and just pay attention to what I'm doing, but whenever I want to watch something, the YouTube's algorithm thing is so messed up that it just recommends me everything. So if I want to watch a H3H3 video, then it's probably going to recommend me something about people shitting on H3H3. Or if I want to watch iDubbbz, then there's something about the content cop that he made about Leafy, or the content cops that he's made in the past, or anything like this. You see what I mean? It's kind of hard to escape this, and as much as I want to, it's really kind of hard to do so. That's so salty. There's so much salt for YouTube at the moment, but I don't know if anyone else kind of feels the same way. I hope it's not just me, but this isn't the YouTube that I fell in love with to begin with. This is YouTube that's this is like one of these people in school where they just make really gross jokes and think they're really funny, but they're kind of not. They're kind of obnoxious. That's what YouTube's kind of turned into, the not so funny kid. But I don't know, I just want to see YouTube for what it used to be. You remember that hashtag, make YouTube great again? What a load of good that did. Everyone's just still trying to kill each other for no reason. Just leave each other alone. If you don't, here's the thing, uploading to YouTube is a choice. No one makes you upload a video to YouTube. However, quote unquote exposing someone for doing something wrong is, obviously that's fine. If someone's done something wrong, like that whole Leafy bullshit that was recent, where he wasn't like giving people shout outs or paying people or something, I forgot what it was about. But if it's about that, then fine. Just like call them out for their bullshit and then just leave it. You just don't go much further than that. But then there's like going for people for no reason, you know, like just going for the channel because of specific content they make, and I don't know, it's you know what, this really has become just this ramble thing where I'm just talking about nothings. There's something else that I kind of don't like, which has been around on YouTube for as long as I can remember, and it's just bandwagoning on the most popular things. I don't want to keep harping on this, but the Leafy thing, fucking, oh my god, one person made a video about Leafy, and then like 10,000 other people made a video about Leafy. It's like, you don't need to make a video about Leafy because someone popular has made a video about Leafy. Just because you have doesn't make you any more special than them. I don't know. Just stop bandwagoning on shit that doesn't matter, I guess. We're here on YouTube as a choice. Let's just enjoy the fucking time we have and make videos because we like making videos about stuff that happens. And we like making videos. Just a sidetrack. There was a video I was working on a while ago, and I've kind of just completely reworked it for something else. Remember that project I was talking about a while ago? Well, I've completely just like reformatted the way I want it to be, and it's kind of turned into more of a review than what I intended it to be, so yeah, it's gonna be a weird thing. But I hope you guys can kind of understand where I'm coming from for this. I guess this all kind of molds together, like the state that YouTube's in is kind of affecting me wanting to make videos, which is affecting the kind of content I make, and, you know, it's a domino effect, I guess. My apologies for rambling too much, I just haven't made a ramble video. I've kind of slipped out of how I used to make videos, and I've kind of changed. I don't really know why. I don't know what's caused it or anything, but I know the feel for my content has kind of changed. Well, to me it has anyway. It feels different, and not really sure why. So, but yeah, I'm sorry for just rambling so much. I just want to make content and not have to worry about things that happen on this site. I have so much to worry about in real life anyway. YouTube doesn't have to be another part of that, so I don't know. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, see ya.